We told you a year ago they were going to race swap a Disney Junior cartoon about the Little Mermaid. Now, folks, we're here to tell you that it's not just swapping of ethnicities, but instead it's swapping of morality. Ursula, the sea witch, well now, she's just a sassy aunt. Hello, folks. Welcome back to the Pro Channel, where we explain entertainment, keep you ahead of the culture curve, and in this case, maybe just save your kids from Bizarro World. Today we've got Michelle, a Force of Light, joining us. Welcome back.
Yes, good to be here.
And folks, let's dive in. As we do, perhaps you could dive on that like button, not too harshly though, just index finger only. Click it. Thank you. Let's move on. Here we go, folks. This out of Playbill.com. Even the mainstream press, even those who would be kind to Disney, you can see in the headline, are beginning to go, what the heck? Amber Riley is an oddly friendly Ursula in teaser trailer for Disney Junior's Ariel series. Here we go. Here's what it says. This by Talara Harms. The Little Mermaid just got even tinier and more adorable. The teaser trailer for Disney Junior's Ariel has been released. Get a first look at the upcoming animated musical series in the video above. It says, along with favorite characters, I'm skipping one, I will come back in just a second. Along with favorite characters created for the original Alan Menken and Howard Ashman animated film, like Flounder and Sebastian, the series adds two new little best mer friends for Ariel, Lucia and Fernie. And yeah, so those are the new characters. There are no characters of lighter appearance that have been displayed. Doesn't matter that much to me. But it does matter that they're changing villains into good guys. So it says the cartoon aimed at preschool children follows a young Ariel and her friends as they learn to discover and appreciate the Caribbean-inspired underwater kingdom of Atlantica. It goes on to talk about Triton and Ursula, who you can see in this image. Michelle, here's my question for you. They have often talked about how Ursula the Sea Witch is allegedly queer-coded, right? And we've had Leslie Headland, who is the Star Wars showrunner of The Acolyte, come out and say that she was inspired by Ursula as a kid, as a teen, and frankly, someone who turns out to be Harvey Weinstein's personal assistant. Yes, I can see how you would grow up with Ursula as inspiration. I get it. Now, Disney is taking the Sea Witch, who she attempts to murder Ariel and murder King Triton, and she also keeps a garden of captured souls of people that she tricked into fraudulent contracts so that she could enslave them. Now she's a sassy aunt, depending on how you want to pronounce it. Michelle, what are little kids going to think when they grow up with this and then they go watch the movie and go, oh, that cool character I like so much, she wants to kill Ariel.
Well, two things that kind of come to my mind as we were reading that. First, it's interesting the look of this show, because you would think like the animation team would either want to make the show look like the original movie, the cartoon, or two, make these characters a kind of sillier, junior version of the movie they just did last year, and they did neither. So it's just kind of interesting that they would do a totally new, for a third time take on the same character. To me, that doesn't make any sense. Pick either the 1989 one or the one you did last year and make the characters look like that. But then back to the Ursula thing, that's just really a horrible move to make Ursula a kind of a good guy. Because that goes back to me, kind of the heartbeat of Little Mermaid. And all those Disney princess movies, there was a villain. And there's a point for there being a villain. I mean, one, yeah, you gotta have to have that there for a movie, but also it taught kids that watch those movies. It's kind of like, let's go back to Ursula. Her father does not want her to go talk to Ursula because he knows who Ursula is. She's a bad person. It's teaching kids limits and boundaries that maybe their parents have set up for good reason. Yes. Because we have to learn as kids that not everyone is trustworthy. And Ursula kind of serves that point. And even when Ariel goes and meets Ursula, you can see kind of the tension of she knows she can't really trust her, but she gives in. So when you remove that element, it removes kind of a whole morality point of the story for kids everywhere. So it just doesn't really make sense at all, quite frankly.
The other thing, Michelle, is I have heard from people who suggest that they know what happens in this show, that a reoccurring theme, folks, little rumor here. I mean, it's a preschool show, so it's still rumor and speculation territory, though. But I've heard that it kind of feels a little bit like this character undermines the father figure because she's the cool, exciting one, and he's the stodgy paternal figure, and she's the one who allegedly, now I haven't seen this, but she's the one with the cool human stuff, that inspires Ariel to want to see the human world. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen or not, and I won't watch the show. It's for preschoolers, okay? Mm-hmm. Frankly, I'll go watch Bluey if I'm going to watch a preschool show, which also is not high up on my list, although I like Bluey just fine. But, Michelle, it seems like there's just an ongoing attack, nonstop, at not just swapping these characters and changing the iconography, but also there's an onslaught of attacking what is good and evil and right and wrong and who are heroes and who are villains, and then putting that in front of our kids at a very young age. This is preschool, and it's directly opposing the movie that kids would also start watching probably about in preschool. I mean, The Little Mermaid, the original 80s film, like 4-year-olds and 5-year-olds are going to watch that. And then they're going to watch this at the same time. And I think it's actually fighting against the original and saying Ursula's not bad. You can like Ursula. Doesn't matter that she captures people's souls and stuff. She's pretty cool. She's a cool aunt. So do you think that there's an ongoing battle from some in society who want to, at a very early age, invert the morals and ethics of our kids?
Well, yeah, there kind of seems to be. I mean, I'd be really interested. Wouldn't you love to ask Leslie Headland what it was exactly about Ursula that really, what were the words you used that she said?
Oh, she thought that was a character who was queer-coded and she looked up to in her childhood, Ursula.
Wow.
That's like looking up to Scar, by the way. And wouldn't you love, by the way, Michelle, here they are. Here are the characters cheering on Ursula. Everybody's happy with Ursula in this. And I'm just watching this. I'm thinking, what's next? Like, is there going to be a kids show where Cruella de Vil is actually a cool kind of character? Is there going to be one where we take Jafar and he's actually just, he's that cousin that comes to the parties and you want to hang out with old Jafar? Everybody just misunderstands him. This is crazy stuff. Let the villains be villains. What is this?
Yes. Well, and again, it was there to teach kids a valuable lesson.
There it is, by the way, Michelle. Folks, I didn't mean to do this, and I apologize, Michelle, but this is too perfect. I didn't mean to do this. I haven't really watched the trailer in depth other than to read articles and talk to sources. Here's Ursula doing what we talked about at the beginning of the video, which is, upstaging the father figure. He's stodgy. Look at Ursula right here with that kind of sassy, oh, look what I did. I pulled a magic trick. You wear a hat. I mean, this is, good grief.
And here's the thing. I would be totally fine with Ursula trying to be the cool, enticing, upstaging the parent figure if she's a villain, because she's trying to sway Ariel to do something Ariel shouldn't do. But if you make her like a friendly character, then that doesn't work at that point. The whole thing just doesn't work. Like, Ursula is needed to be.
You mean like if she gives the father a cool pirate hat?
Yeah, I love the pirate hat.
Pirate hat.
No sarcasm detected.
I just want to congratulate them. They race swapped every single thing they could. I'm only shocked that they didn't somehow race swap Flounder because of the yellow is just a little too close, I would say, to So that's the only surprising thing. Yeah. Michelle, it's going for kids, of course, and again, Disney has become sort of a cartoon of its own self. They've become a parody. They've become a pastiche, and a pastiche not in a good way. They are satirizing what those who have said they will do. Like, you couldn't go to the Babylon Bee right now and say, "Hey guys, make up a story about Disney," because it would probably come in under what Disney actually does. And this is just another case. Like, who comes up with the idea and says, "Hey, what if we did Little Mermaid?" And we literally race swapped every single character. And what if the bad guy is the good guy, and we send that out to little kids. You know, at this point, what could a satirical site possibly do that would upstage Disney? I don't even know anymore. But this is the kind of stuff that Disney is obsessed with. They've got to be obsessed with it because it's what they do all the time. And yeah, there's Ursula at a rock concert with mer people all cheering on. It's just wonderful, wonderful. Michelle, final thoughts on this Disney Junior show coming to indoctrinate the 4-year-olds?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really have a place. Again, Ursula is there for a very specific reason, and if you remove that reason, then the lessons that can be learned through that story are gone. Because with going back to the original movie, obviously Ariel's dad kind of learns a lesson too of letting his daughter go as she's maturing and coming of age.
Right,
But
which
he
is an
also,
important story for dads. It's hard.
yes,
Dads have a hard time letting their little girls go out into the danger, right?
exactly. But it also served that point from the parental standpoint of a lot of times kids learning your parents are right. The dad was also right about Ursula, and she should have stayed away from Ursula because she was the villain. So this just doesn't make any sense. But it's not surprising, as you said, from Disney at this point, at this moment in time, at least.
Just remember, folks, this time next year, we'll probably be talking about the brand new Disney Junior show aimed for 4-year-olds, Hades, and it'll be all about how cool and awesome he is. Oh, what a wacky world we live in. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end for today. I would say watch your children and be careful what they watch on Disney Plus. Might just be flat out a good idea to buy Bluey in physical format and get rid of Disney Plus. I'm not recommending you do that. I'm just suggesting if you're a parent of a small child, it's starting to get so far out there, you just might want to think about things and do your own investigation as to what you should do as a parent. Anyway, folks, you are missing out dramatically if you are not subscribed to Force of Light. Michelle, tell the folks out there what's coming up soon on your channel.
Yes, in honor of Major League starting, we just put out our first time reaction to Field of Dreams, which we loved, by the way. And also, hopefully later this week, we'll also have our first time watching reaction of Major League.
Wow, fantastic.
We
now,
went
Michelle,
baseball.
I know that you were an outstanding basketball player, but did you ever play softball?
I did, yes. Yeah, in fact,
what position?
I was a shortstop, believe it or not, though I'm not very short.
Well, shortstop, though, is one of those positions, you know, that you have to be very good to play that spot. That's one of the premier spots that you want to put your best players. So it says something about your athleticism that not only were you a tremendous basketball player, but also a shortstop for your team. So,
well, thank you, bro.
Keep up the great work over on Force of Light. Folks, make sure you are over there watching it every day. Great stuff. And on your way out the door today, consider clicking the like button, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms, hit the notification bell, drop a comment down below, and let us know, do you like this brand new version of Ursula where she's just one cool aunt? She just got all kinds of cool little tricks. Come on over, Ariel. Folks, wherever you are and whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun, but not with Ursula. Hey folks, Wednesday, April 3rd is the Disney shareholders meeting where we find out if Nelson Peltz has a seat on the board or if the proxy war continues on. Coverage begins at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time with Culture Casino. Moving right over to the Pro Channel, a special edition of the Pro Show, 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern, and then we go to Valiant Renegade for live coverage, 1 p.m. Eastern until who knows when. It is the big day for Disney.